Hello everyone, how's it going? It's your boy Skilled Fawn, and we're back doing more challenge runs. This challenge run, we're going to be doing a Demon Souls run. I really enjoyed Demon Souls, but I haven't played it in a little bit, so I figured why not? Let's jump straight on into it. So, let me get into the rules. So it's going to be consumables only. And so this means that I can only use like fire bombs, the kunai, the throwing knives, and the stealth throwing daggers. There's only four consumables that are throwable, so we're going to be using those. Glitches and or exploits are allowed. This is going to be very useful for some areas that are a bit challenging, and I'm going to have to make my way around, scoot around some enemies. I can't summon any NPCs to help during the boss fights or anything like that. I just have to, do it just myself. We need to defeat all the bosses, and there's about I think there's 16 or 17 bosses. I think 17, but I could be wrong. There's like 3 usually per location. And then in the very first world there's an extra boss. So yeah. Then yeah, we gotta beat the game, obviously. We gotta, beat all the bosses or defeat all of them to actually beat the game. And yeah, the music is the Demon Souls Nexus song, if any of you guys are interested. And so yeah, let's jump straight on into it. So to quickly summarize the story of Demon Souls, it's basically like this land. They found this gift of souls, and then the next day, this demon came and started devouring and taking everyone's souls. So there's like different levels of demons, and the big bad one is called the Old One. He's like, I guess, like the father of all the demons. And so we're just trying to take out all the demons. We brave the fog that is blocking uh the world from like really knowing what's going on. So yeah, we're gonna grab a few things. We're gonna grab the cling ring and then the thief ring. These are very important. Probably 2 of the most important rings in Demon Souls. Arguably, I mean, you could argue like the clever rat ring and like the regenerator's ring, but I think these 2 in combination, like you really don't need too much else. Um, the good thing about the cling ring is it'll give me slightly more HP. I think that's definitely one of the big things about Demon Souls is how punishing it is. Because like in Dark Souls and Elden Ring, Bloodborne, when you die, you lose whatever souls or runes you had, but nothing else pretty much. I mean, you may lose like your great rune or like if you have like some consumable popped. But in Demon Souls, when you die, you lose half your health, and that is not good. So the Cling Ring's gonna really help with that, and then the Thief Ring is gonna help with basically cheesing the bosses. There's very few bosses that you can cheese with the Thief Ring, but it still is like really helpful. So yeah, we're basically just heading on through. We got the first boss, the Phalanx. Nothing too crazy though, because you usually destroy them with fire bombs just normally. So I wanted to test out a few things, um, especially since I'm more so used to like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and stuff like that. Um, Kind of weird. This guy's just rolling around doing the loop-de-loop. But yeah, in Elden Ring and some of the other From Software games, the consumables actually do like have scalings. So You know, if I leveled up, you know, the damage would be better. And also, like, sometimes too, if you have like rings, the damage would increase. But after that little demonstration, not too long ago, it just basically proved that it didn't change the damage. Which is nice to know. I mean, it does suck because my damage is going to be very, very low on some of the late game bosses, but no worries. We're going to power on through, take down Adjudicator, keep on pressing. And one very important thing if you do this run is I'd highly recommend you come to this world first, just so you are able to constantly get consumables. This is probably the best spot in Demon Souls. Get souls and like farm them. Just this one I guess Reaper guy right here. You could also go a bit further in, like about like halfway into this particular level. There's like 3 Reapers in this, but the middle Reaper also gives a ton, and it's pretty safe too. It's just that third Reaper's in this like really weird spot where it's quite hard to farm. But yeah, onto Old Hero. And yeah, that's definitely one thing that I think Old Hero is just such a cool looking boss, but his fight is just so can be so boring sometimes. But yeah, pretty much what we're gonna do is just poison him. That's the biggest thing. Because if we don't poison him, it probably would take all of my fire bombs, if not more than I can even hold. The great thing about poison, especially the kunais, is it does like 900 damage approximately, and I mean, that's a lot of fire bombs. It definitely helps to take down the guys. Yeah, we're gonna head back to Latria. I figured, you know, we basically already, you know, are done 3-1. We might as well just kill the boss. And yeah, in this challenge run and future challenge runs of Demon Souls, I'll just explain like the worlds, because this is the very first, like Demon Souls is the first From Software game, and Dark Souls came out. But Dark Souls is like more of an open world, similar to Elden Ring, where you're able to go wherever you want. But in Demon Souls, it's very linear. Like Dark Souls 3, I would say, is closer to Demon Souls than DS1. But the first world is like 1. That is like Boletaria, or the castle of Boletaria, and then 2 is the tunnel, and that's where you'll fight like a bunch of the flame guys. The third world is the world we're in now, and it's like this uh very weird like tentacle monster place. Not a very enjoyable place. But yeah, we're gonna unleash these chains. We're gonna get this like heart thing to fall down. And so continuing on, the fourth world, there's no fourth world. The Archstone is actually destroyed in the Nexus. Kind of interesting. I was hoping for maybe like a DLC, especially with a remake. Maybe they would include it. I'm sure, you know, when like the original came out, there was a time crunch. And then the fifth world is the world where you really should get like early in the challenge run, especially to just like farm and level up. And then yeah, the sixth and the final one is probably like Probably one of the worst areas if you've never played this game. It's very similar to Blight Town, where just everything messes you up. And uh, I don't know. I would. The nice thing about Blight Town is you are able to just quickly go through the backside and just easily avoid everything. But in Demon Souls, the only level you can really avoid is the second level, or 6-2, just because you can basically run right through the swamp. You will get poisoned, but you're good. So we got the old monk next. When I first played this game, this was like one of the coolest cutscenes and just like ideas. I am still like, I don't know, I'm still just in awe like how this very first game had this idea, but none of the other games I don't think have had this. I am playing offline, so I mean it's just gonna be the basic guy, but if you're playing online you can fight a regular like human person that's, you know, invading your world. This is so cool. Imagine in like Elden Ring when you like, I don't know, you went up to like one of the great rune towers to like acquire the rune, and like someone invaded you as a secret boss there. Like that would be so cool. But yeah, the big trick with Old Monk is basically to wait until he's about to attack you. You have to get very close to him and then use your consumable. But you also have to time it correctly too, because for some reason, by the time I'm actually done throwing my firebomb, I could take out a loan and buy a new car. Like, it just takes absurd long time. But we're gonna head back to the merchant and grab some firebombs. That's pretty much what I'm doing every run. Like after a boss, I'm depending, you know, sometimes like I don't use all that many, so I won't have to worry about it, but yeah, Tower Knight, very simple, but has like some of the coolest music in the game for some reason. But yeah, we're just gonna poison these guys. It takes one kunai to poison them, and then we're just gonna start wailing on the Tower Knight. And if I do hit him in like the back, chest, like head region, I'm gonna be getting that 64 damage, like the highest damage you can get with it. And then yeah, if I got his legs, it would be like 20 or something. You're usually supposed to go for the legs, but just didn't really want to worry about that. We're gonna meet up with the merchant's new location, and we're able to get throwing knives now. And at this point, we do have access to all three of the throwable consumables. The only one that we really can't purchase is the stealth throwing daggers. You get those from the assassins in the World 1. I mean, maybe there's some in the other worlds, but I can't really think of any. I just know they're like very prevalent before Penetrator. And so yeah, I got like a few of them, but I just didn't really see the point of it. They definitely do way more damage than the regular throwing knives, but I mean, the poison knives are just too goated. So yeah, you can see here just like how much damage I'm getting. Like the poison with the fire bombs, it's just too good. It is probably the best combination in the game, and it's gonna be what helps us to beat it. So this is one thing I was quite scared about, or nervous, I guess, is how the hell am I gonna take down Storm King? So I just purchased, you know, like every consumable that I could. I figured that the fire bombs would be absolute dog water, because they have like that you just like throw them 2 feet in front of you. You don't really fuck them. But yeah, eventually I just started to do the poison daggers, because I mean otherwise I would have to use like 5+ of the regular um, for each of the just smaller guys. And then I was also pretty curious about actual Storm King. Can he be poisoned? I assume that he could be, just because if I can get his minions, I can probably get him. Though he probably has a much higher resistance to it. We're just going to keep on throwing, and eventually we're going to get that nice poison. And the good thing is Storm King has very little health. I think for like an archdemon, he has the least amount of health. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it. Because if you look at, or if you include Dragon God, he has like, I don't know, 300 health points that you actually have to really worry about. But yeah, we're gonna head on into the second world. This is another thing I was a bit worried about, was because this area is pretty notorious for its fire resistance. And if you do this challenge run, I highly recommend just switching to the throwing knives when you fight Armor Spider. You do get slightly less damage, but you have more range to work with. And I feel like it throws a little bit faster, but that could just be not true. Seems like probably about the same speed. But yeah, with that extra range, we're gonna take him down. Yeah, sometimes you'll see me too. I won't have the cling ring on, and I'll just I'll be at my like full health, and I'll go into the boss fights. Sometimes because I just am pretty comfortable with that boss. Um, but yeah, not with Flame Lurker. We're not gonna really I mean, I guess I did, but the thing is like with some of these bosses, you have to be so careful, just because especially Flame Lurker, like he can mess you up. He has very quick attacks and stuff like that. If I mean, the smartest way would be for me to kill myself in the Nexus, and then just to come here. Even if I didn't die the first run, it still, you know, would be much safer. But yeah, this is one of the big cheeses that is nice with Maneater and Flame Lurker, is you're absolutely able to cheese their AIs. And Flame Lurker and Maneater, at least in my opinion, are like the hardest bosses in the game. I mean, Old King Allant is, I would say Old King Allant, then Flame Lurker, and then Maneater. But I mean, we don't really have to worry about Old King right now for the time being. But hey, we got Flame Lurker. That is massive. Definitely one thing I was a bit you know, worried about. But hey, the poison damage is massive. Like, that's definitely one thing that is really helping this run. So yeah, with Dragon God, you have to take down these obstacles to get to the, I guess, like, gun turrets, or the, like, spear that fires into the Dragon God. But you can actually destroy it from consumables. At least, like, I tried like about 10 times right there, maybe slightly more, but I couldn't get it, so I had to resort to the fist. Yeah, that's definitely like one thing that I didn't include in the rules, but like is a very last resort, is, you know, just fists if I can't. Um, I figured, you know, there's definitely going to be certain situations where, you know, I'm going to have to bend the rules slightly. And it's, you know, it's not like I'm actually, you know, hitting the boss with a weapon or anything. I'm just trying to get past those obstacles for that one boss. And yeah, now we're on to World 6. This is 6-1, the Leechmonger. And yeah, Leechmonger, you can just sit up in this one spot right up here. This is definitely like the safest area. And depending if you get like a good arc, or well, it depends what you're using. Like if you're using sorcery, you have to get it to where you like shoot through those two boards on the right side, and like same as a bow, and you won't get hit. But with the fire bombs, I'm able to hang a bit further back, so I have less of a chance of getting hit. The strategy that helps. Up to the dirty Colossus. I hate whenever I get up to this boss. I mean, he's not terribly challenging, but he rips your health. That's the thing. So he's gonna be shooting you with these flies, and it's nothing too crazy, but once one of them latches on, it's gonna start ripping away your health. And whenever you try and heal yourself, it's gonna make the effectiveness around like 20 or 30%. At least that's the way it feels. Like I would use one of the better grasses, like that should fully heal me. It would give me like very little health. Yeah, on to Maiden Astraea in Garl, and this is another thing I was a bit worried about. I wasn't sure if I could maybe poison kunai her from the right side, because I guess there's like two. Well, I mean, there's three paths to get to her. You either go to left, which is like normally the way you should go. You can drop down the middle and fight those like septic tank babies or whatever. And then if you go to the right, there's like a few enemies there, but it's mostly for like a bow or something with range. And yeah, I wasn't sure. I probably could have done it. But I don't know. I wasn't too sure. So I figured I would try it this way first. And we got like around 4 or 8 damage when he was blocking. So I was like, all right, well, we're gonna have to parry him and get as much damage as possible, because every single firebomb counts. And yeah, you can see, I mean, I do have them very weak, but like, I mean, I used 2/3 of my fire bombs. That's the thing too, is like I'm pretty crap at parrying. Like, whenever I try and parry like bosses, I'm quite bad. I think in Sekiro, I'm definitely a bit different, just because that's the pure focus of the game. But I'm still quite bad at that. Um, so yeah, I was very thankful I got Garl first try. I mean, I did take quite a few hits, but hey, that's why having a ton of health is really important. Especially in challenge runs, it just saves you a bunch of time. But yeah, we're gonna head on over to 1-5 now. This is where Old King Allant is, and yeah, is one of my favorite bosses in the game. I think this game has definitely a lot going for it, but it is very simple compared to the other From Software, and I think that's a good thing. Probably easier for like newcomers play this one versus like some of the other games. So I'm sure once they die for the first time, or they look at their health bar, they're like, what? Why don't I have my full health? But oh, Old King Allant. So he's, I believe, using I think he's using Demon Brand or whatever. There's two of those swords. There's Demon Brand and then there's Soul Brand. Is quite cool. But I guess one thing I was a bit worried about this boss was how much health he has, because I have done previously SL1 and then SL1 plus 0, and on the SL1 plus 0, it took a ridiculous amount of time, and I like absolutely cheesed him more than this. But yeah, it was just not too sure, but we did get the poison proc, so that is very nice. If it took like, you know, a ton of the kunais to actually poison, I may be only get like 2 or 3 procs, but I think I get like 3 or 4, which is really nice. Yeah, basically I'm just going side to side along this arena, just trying to poison him as much as possible and, you know, not get hit, obviously. And you know, Old King Allant was pretty cooperative this run for me. If you have seen the SL1 plus 0, you might have noticed, or the Demon Souls tribute I did. Actually not the tribute, but the MLG Old King Allant. You'll see just how buggy and glitchy he can be. So you know, if I died like a few times after doing this consumables, I probably would do the true cheese way, but we were able to get him first try, and yeah, we're pretty much on the final boss. And this is, oh gosh, the final boss is like the real skill for this game. Especially if you haven't you know, seen this final boss. This is like the ultimate From Software boss. And yeah, we're gonna go inside the old one to fight the final boss. But yeah, the final boss is quite lackluster. Yeah, pretty much every other final boss in like every other game is, you know, tougher than, you know, the very first boss. But I mean, yeah, he is tougher in the sense that he has more health than, I guess, Phalanx or, you know, Adjudicator or something. But I mean, he has like 3 or 4 attacks, and they're very like minimal. They don't do much damage. And so yeah, that is the final boss, King Allant, his true version, his like Mirage or whatever was the one at 1-5. But yeah, we're gonna either choose to leave or kill the maiden, and we're gonna kill this bitch. You know, we're gonna get the bad ending. And you know, we beat the game in roughly 6.5 hours, which is pretty good. Uh, you know, challenge runs definitely do take a bit longer, but this is quite a short game, so I was quite happy to finish it in that time. Um, yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys coming and watching the video. I love doing challenge runs and entertaining you guys. Uh, and so yeah, I'm definitely expect some more things. I've got you know, an Elden Ring strength and dex only run, along with like whip only, remembrance weapons only. There's so many different ones. I'm really excited to be sharing these challenge runs with you guys. And yeah, thank you guys again. Guild Fawn out.